face each other. He's taunting them. Not that they'll have noticed. The refrag. But they're content to let them have position because they don't have anything else to go along with this import. It's just the one. Although, they can't give him that much room. They have to at least be mindful of his presence because Henny's caught completely off guard, not looking. He wants to flank. They're not going to be looking. They hear him drop down. They line up. Though, and he gets both. The F4 sprays through. Legia's got it all to do, and Seal's ready for him. Immortals are alive. Absolutely alive with 7 in a row.
Yeah, beautiful stuff there. Great mid-round calls. Equal situation, 3-on-3. KNG asked for the call to get up towards drop down there 8 times to perfection as well. They both line up. Anything about it. The UMP, the Tech 9. Trying desperately to defend, sticking behind each other, but didn't work out. KNG finds them. There it is, the replay. As both players go down. It's 8-3. Just a partial bite there from the big side, so it won't take too much away from that, but 8-3. Immortals have won the half. They've looked like a much better team. Throughout the tournament, only saw them in Inferno, you have to remember that, but Immortals just looked like the better team right now.
It's not the tactical
prowess
we're looking to see. It's slow, it's defaults. They're getting into drop, and then they're just repetitively doing the same thing.
They're getting to the bomb sites. That's what you need. You're having numbers making it to the bomb site itself. It's just the final hurdle of getting that one kill and getting the bomb down. They're wasting a lot of time with that slow playstyle we just mentioned, but it seems like it's not really working out from the clutches. The players aren't stepping up in those particular situations, but KNG, he certainly is. What was this shot? Looking at the other side, and boom! Takes him down. That was really, really nice. Round number 13. We do have a force buy here, I think.
Well, I was just saying, we do, and you're right to call that. Keep back on the AWP, because obviously they pick up what they can and force anything they can into this 9-3. We've only really seen one wall of smoke toward B. Nothing.
Especially as we were describing, but they're absolutely fine, but that does have to happen, I'd say. I don't think
some misleading viewer counts recently. So I'm pretty sure I don't
He's left himself about 2k so they can buy next round. Another execution play, smokes are lined up. No fakes here, sticking together, going towards middle with 2 players. And still fine. They can pick this round up. This will be a struggle, but it's enough to work with. Towards connector, A or B side, depending where you want to go, and well, it seems like to split towards the A side through the connector itself, or you just go hard in towards B and try and overwhelm the CTs with firepower here. Looks like it's the challenge and taps him, rips off the KMG there.
Needs to do more than that though because he's lost his teammate. Steele's got Gia. He's getting overwhelmed. He's trying to pull Nex back in, and Nex getting back in at the right time. They'll coordinate for a crossfire, but then he still finds a kill, and it's a 2 versus 2. The advantage though, too big, not only with the kill, but the fact that the bomb is down inside of the site, a site which Steele is flanking. They're gonna have no idea where he is. They're starting to anticipate it though, based on the fact that CT's have gone all the way back through B long. There's nowhere else he really could be. Stare him down in tandem, peek together, watch that shot potential as Steele is bleeding out down to 28. Clock to get close. Next confirms that he's there with a repeat. I won't get over aggressive, there's no need.
Yeah, they don't have to give anything away here. Make him plan, make him get to the bomb site itself. He's low HP, you've done the damage. Stick together, like you said, give him 2 targets. Steele can't do anything with it. Hughes gets the final headshot, a must-need risk around there for Big. 12-4, and managed to keep himself alive there somewhat as we get into round number 2. Don't necessarily have to force play on the T side, they probably will. But this sort of lead could just focus on the AKs going forward, but they're going to bring out the Tech 9s, the Deagles, some armor as well. Very good on the pistols for sure, so Big not out of the woods just yet, and they're hardly firing on all cylinders. It's not the Big you kind of expect to get to a semi-final at this stage. They have looked amazing for the tournament, 3-0 against some huge names, but it doesn't seem to be the same brand of Counter-Strike at the moment. 3 UMPs, an MP9, and a Thanos for Tapson.
Steele down quick. Goffby ready. I think he's identified the fact that there was more than just the one player dropping in, but moves himself accordingly. The other player mentioned, none other than Henny. He takes quite a bit of nade damage, throws the bomb back up as well. KNG nearly walked off the ledge inside of the smoke to get it. Henny committed. And all the rotations have gone toward the B side. Lucas seeing if anyone's going to push all the way through.
Well, here's the 5-on-4. The hard work has been done for the CT set. Now, just hold the crossfires, wait for the final commitment to come in. Immortals should be taken down one by one. Time ticking away. Less than a minute now as Henny gets towards the drop down. He's got a flashbang though. Could find Goffby here. Goffby is decent at drop down, knows what he has to do. He might overlook this corner though. That could be an absolute shame, but the timing somehow for Henny has the knife out of that point as we bolt so even back in the round of the headshot Samson.
KNG wants to get through. Lucas was watching flank, no one to worry about in that position yet. Instead, it's in the sight. MP9 Kiev, good firing range position as he gets closer and closer. Goffby will get the kill in the end. And he swaps to the Lucas because he's depleted his ammunition in the SMG, but Goffby gets the kill, the final kill. 12-5, not done by any means.
Definitely not. Now they've got the pistol in that second round conversion as well. Let's take it round by round. It's not done yet. And number 18. 2K per play on the Immortals side. No bomb down in that previous round. So this will be the full eco. Maybe just a B rush. It can be a little bit frustrating and hold up for the whole round and see if any CTs make a mistake. But I'd expect Immortals to go for a straight rush. Maybe down towards middle and try and trade a frag. Kiev and Legear go towards long A. It looks like they will be challenged indeed. As we head towards top and middle. Emphatic approach here from Immortals, it seems, as they go straight towards long A. Kiev waiting towards middle as well. He will be tested here. Can't give much away. Oh, Legear, the timing good ball by him.
Moves back to the main, actually got closer to where they walked in from. Still pushing. Bolts is able to get Kiev, so double trade. And a site that's occupied until rotations. Thompson's just barely there in the nick of time before they get to stables, and that means they have to bomb down inside of the site. Hey, it's concluded by Nex. 12-6, they have it.
Yeah, got a bit dicey there, I have to say. The Glocks, and still a little bit unlucky with the timings though. Legear pulling his nade out just as they finally committed. He gives away UMP, but that's about it. Taps in to save the day, joined by Nex as well. First full buy for Immortals, no AWP there. 5 AK-47s, opting for more utility with the flashbangs as well. Not much in terms of the Molotovs, I don't think there's a single one there. It should be quite tricky in a map like Cobblestone to flush out positions like the upper platform, the tight corners, hobbit hole. The tree, for example, is very difficult to actually get to the site. Not having that utility to work with. All for Kiev, of course. We'll see if he can start hitting some big shots here. He's on 10 for 13 right now. Lucas going in first, but Thompson taking him down.
Slows the play, Bolts backs off. Oh, goodness. Pucker up and give it a kiss. Apple takes him down to 56, and they'll find Bolts. Good push from Thompson. So no openings for Immortals now that they're on the AK-47 steal. He seems to be the one to want to go after drop. Does land an A directly on top of Goffby. And then he'll follow up by dropping himself into the position, but it's being fortified and guarded. Thompson as well as going to be boosted up on the tree. And he'll stay, yeah, exactly, at an angle behind it by which he can see E-Box because they know Steel's in there.
Bad advantage still for the big side here. 5-on-3 to be exact. I think was the final play. We took that tree position, could be problematic, but for Steel, it seems absolutely fine for him. And bring a kill back. 1-3 now.
Next. Let's hold off, watches back. He's stuck against the wall though, nowhere to go. KNG therefore is able to put him down once they have the information. Spraying in, he finds Goffby. They have opened something up late. Bomb's gonna go in. Late Molotov as well means they won't be able to deny it just yet. Versus 2 make it down to 1. They've got to go back for the bomb, and he burns alive. Molotov did just barely get in position.
Yeah. Great play from Big. They've had a lot of advantages in this game that they've thrown away. 5-on-2s, 5-on-3s, but that one they convert. It started to fall apart slightly. We're still finding the opening kill toward that tree position. But finally it's looking decent for Big now, winning the first gun around here. The journey begins. It's going to be 4-0 in the second half. Looking decent. Could they bounce back? Certainly a possibility, as there's another eco here for Immortals. The gap in the scoreline is starting to close. Slowly but surely, this could happen, man. Could have a real game on our hands now.
Deagle toward long, Lucas going against Legear. Lagia backs off. Oh, the nade in position. Taps and gets a kill. Lagia realizes he's got company on either side. Identifies correctly which wants to arrive first and gets the kill accordingly. Smoked it off as he is, though. They want to try and rush directly by and get toward the A site, but Keed waits for the AWP. Should be a clean sweep, and it is. So Big fighting back valiantly. 5 in a row. They bring it to just a 4-round lead for Immortals, who have yet to score or put one on the board, if you will, on the T side.
This is the first time we've got the AWP out. This is the real test for them. They were so hot with those weapons on the CT side, especially KNG. My God, some of the shots he was hitting were unbelievable. Henny, though, on the AWP, like he said, he did have some decent rounds, but slow to get into this game. He still hasn't hit double digits on 8 kills, 16 deaths. So sure, he's had some high impact frags, but hasn't exactly been carrying the AWP out. If I'm Immortals right now, I'm giving that all to KNG all day long.
Absolutely. On this map, 21 kills, he leads the way. Steals behind on 19. But much more of a team game in terms of kill distribution on the Big side. Again, some pressure toward long early A, that is. B has pressure at long from the CTs rather than anyone on the terrorist side, on the Immortals side. Bomb down inside of the tunnels as well. Play the pick. 3 players at long could flash each other around the corner. Lucas has gone quite far up and close to the corner, but still just waiting for his time to go. Flashes land, no one in position at the corner. Henny didn't get winded up. He's able to find a single kill. Henny on the AWP is going to try and slow peek the hole, but thankfully backs away and the smoke comes down so low. He can't find the shot, because the reason I was saying it was almost to the benefit of him that the smoke came in is that they were bringing out the AWP and Tabson's hand to try and get a shot, or rather, excuse me, the M4 and Tabson's hand to try and get a secondary shot. Down drop, meanwhile, Ball is in position, blinded up. Goppy hears them, but has no vision. Good spot from Nix. Drops the bomb inside, finds the gap, finds KNG.
Yeah, it's really solid CT side from Big so far. Not done in this quarterfinal just yet, it seems. Over timeout for Immortals here. It's towards long A. Lagia's looking very strong there, confident almost. He's by himself, doesn't have anyone else to play off there. Takes the jewel, drops the smoke as well. Completely isolates any remaining teams on the other side. He falls back, and it's up to God B to defend the drop down area. He can't do it, but his teammate Nex, as we said, showing some fantastic form in this tournament, continues it ahead. 4 seconds remaining. Henny has to save the AWP. He's above drop down right now. Looks like he'll be fine to save the weapon. But Immortals, generally speaking, haven't really impressed me at all here in the second half. 12-9 as we start to close the gap. Immortals timeout does come in indeed, tactical for sure. Their first one, this shows you how kind of the difference in the first half and the second. They haven't had to use a pause whatsoever at this point, but now the sun is a little bit uncomfortable and working out what's to play here. Henny with the Sage AWP. He's got armor, got a smoke to work with, and no money from not surviving that previous round. His teammates just the maximum loss bonus here. $30 per player, a little bit more than that on top, so AKs and armor can come out, but 3 smokes in total, 2 flashbangs. Doesn't look amazing for them. In terms of the predictions here, the pick and challenge is going to be 68% in favor of Big. I guess it's about right, depending where you're from, but
it doesn't surprise me, actually, just based on how they did in the group stages.
Sure.
I think there was a bit of a bandwagon behind that as well, so.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Round number 22 then. All power for Henny once again. Hasn't been playing amazingly. Hasn't really opened up the maps that much in this T-side. Goes towards the upper platform, up against Keeve. He's been pretty decent. And he's towards long A this time. Lagia changing his position. This is the heavy B focus. So this Keeve, the only player on the A side of the map. Lagia towards drop down, backing up got B as well, where he's had some aggro, a bit of some issues there. So that's why it's good, right? To do it right now after you've shown Lagia on that side of the map and having taps in there as well, just to shift him over, a completely different setup to try and counter what Immortals are doing. Oof, that nade. That's
so good again. So well timed again. Molotov damage is actually extending a lot further than I think Lucas was ready for.
Yeah,
almost killed him immediately. He goes down to 19 HP.
Well. No kill coming in just yet, but as good as. Lucas down to 19, still at 55. Keeve comfortable to play by himself, still towards top middle. They haven't really gained anything at the B side. No one in drop down is just getting bullied by the utility at this point. Big looking for double digits, and that's when things get quite scary indeed for the Immortals side. Could they actually throw the 12-3 lead?
Back over toward Kiev. Bomb toward A. Legia's going to have to be high on his heels to rotate. A timely rotation. Good shot, Kiev, therefore, to start it off.
Yeah.
KNG wants to slip in undetected towards Stables. He's at least gotten close to cannons, but wrapping around is the next challenge as Kiev goes up. Can't quite get the shot, knows that there's two there, and therefore sits back and controls the tight angle. So close again. No chance on the third. KNG gets the shot immediately after. Bolts goes close, finds it. And tear down the Berlin wall because they've got a hole inside the defense. Plant the ball finally on A. The Bolts can cover off. Taps in, and Henny finds the rotation of Goffy. The first for Immortals on a T side.
It was looking so good from Big at that stage. Got the opening pick, and I was about to say, Keith, with that one pick and alone on the A side, buys him time. He gets towards the bomb side there, and a similar sort of play we saw from KNG. He's holding the tight angle on the bomb side itself, trying to hit the flick shots, jumping around. If he hits one of those shots, they probably win that round, but his Bolt's giving a little bit too much to work with that, as his teammates find frags as well. They take down the players towards the balcony position. That's the first round here in the second half for Immortals. 6-1 is the scoreline. They cannot find double digits just yet, but they've got a ton of money to work with here. I'd say maybe a half buy next if they lose this round, but still very well equipped at number 23. Nothing too aggressive here from either side. Key this time. Seems like he actually wants to push down long A. He was at middle before. Wants to try and find the first pick. That long corridor. That's going to be the B side that Immortals are focusing on for now, though. Looking to potentially execute here. Flashbang's going over. They're bleeding out some CT utility on the other side. We'll drop a smoke as well. This will be an A split from what I can see right now, Matt.
Molotovs are there, Nate. Again, well timed. That is huge. Because there's already a set round. They've already got damage and they'll just fall into the rain. God B! He is the God B as he shuts down drop one more time. Henny in a 1 versus 5. Apparently they didn't bring enough to tear down a wall this high.
Oh, it's just so beautiful. The nade, everything, the timings, the perfection as well. Sitting in front of the smoke, the 3-man spray down. Immortals have no idea what has happened to them. It's big. We're a really successful round there. Lost the previous, now they get the double digits. Everyone's surviving as well. God B on an absolute rampage. Immortals can do nothing about it. They were setting up for that A split. They tried to get the drop down control where God B's have been allowing them to have it. He's been sitting outside the window, but this time he's in there. He's fighting, he's scrapping. And he managed to get all 3 kills. Another timeout for Immortals. They're not looking comfortable here. And that's a full reset round as well, man. The fact is they get no bomb down here. And let's look at it from God B. Just spotting them as they drop into the smoke, doing the damage, the full commitment with the 30 bullets. You love to see it. God B stepping up now. This is looking really bleak for them in the first half, but they found their footing now in the second. They can get a couple of rounds out of this. Still going to be really weak money for Immortals next round, even if they take a full eco in round number 24.
I'd love to see a stat for how much nade damage has been done in the opening sectors of the round. That's 3 in a row, if I'm not mistaken. They've hit multiple people for significant damage before they're even ready to go.
That's 1 HE in 2 rounds. It's done over 100 damage. Like, that's kind of nuts. Very rare to see them being that effective, especially on a map like Cobblestone as well. Round number 24, it's going to be P250s, Deagles, no armor, no loss bonus to really have that comfort. And another nade to the face of Bolts as he goes down to 45 HP. They're having a really rough time in that drop down area.
Yep, good find. It's dinked up. Spark clearly covers the screen, but he finds the kill anyway. Just 3 rounds for Immortals, but it seems almost impossible at this point. Momentum firmly with Big. Rotations go back over toward A to support Legia. Kiev's going to sit nearby because, again, Legia on 13 can't do it alone. They'll give him the AWP, in fact, so Kiev goes on the rifle. Not something we normally see, but it has to do with the AWP position. He's able to get a kill as well, so justified. But they lose Kiev. Q-taps in indeed. We talked about it. He always shows up. He's getting there now. 17 kills. He's catching Legia. Yeah,
he is. Just when they need him as well to close this game out. 13-11, a couple of rounds to go to tie up the scoreline, and there is going to be a buy for Immortals here. As we said though, money is going to be weak generally. 4 AKs, a good little for Bolts. In terms of utility, 2 players with any nades whatsoever, man. We have 3 smokes total, a Molotov. What's the play here? Do we just go fast? We just push straight into a bomb site? We haven't really seen that from them yet. It's been quite slow and quite default play from Immortals. They're expecting faster rounds coming in. When they really get rolling on the teams out of Cobblestone, that's when they look their scariest, but only posting 1 round so far. It's 8-1. This could fall apart, the 12-3 lead, surely not. A boost comes in, mixing things up once again. Every round is just so smart. Perfect calls now as God B is ready and waiting, but Next, same story as they walk in towards the B side.
Next is waiting below the broken walls. Mortis is going to swing behind him, and they look over, so Kanji gets it open. That gives them the front side of the site to work with. Thompson drops the bomb, but they get 2 ensuing kills, therefore have control.
Yeah, much simpler rounds this time. 1 smoke, few flashbangs, 5 men towards the upper platform. That's what I'm saying. We haven't really seen that at all. Just simple, basic Counter-Strike, and use your star players to open up the bomb site there. Bolts, especially, lovely shot from him. Still chimes in as well. And you can see Big, they weren't really ready for that one. It's obviously that they're waiting for the execution to come in. They want the wall of smokes to give them cues so they can throw the utility back. That's what they've been so good at so far, is deploying the HE grenades, locking players out with the utility. But that's not really an option. They help themselves to the B side like that. That's what we need to see more of from Immortals if they're going to close this game out. But this will be 2 saved weapons now. Kiev and Legia holding on to the AWP and the M4A4 as well. Plenty of money available for Big. They can certainly buy around these weapons. But don't give anything away for free. But Legia is fighting back. 2 kills there. That's not bad at all. We know the Immortals' money is low. So every kill they get at this point, it's definitely worth it. Even the fact he goes down, it doesn't matter. He's got a ton of money in reserve. They do not. 1 round they can pick up here, Big. They're back into this, and they shut it down. We have another pause coming through.
You mentioned Henny, by the way, early on, saying he hasn't really showed up. He got the 3 brilliant kills in the 5 versus 2 with his brother when they retook the B site, rather with denying the bomb plan. It wasn't even really a retake. It never had to come to that. But other than that round, he has been quiet, even on the CT side. Now, T side, admittedly, it's not like he can do as much to get aggressive with the AWP, more so because they haven't had the money for it. But he definitely has not been in this game in the capacity that I would have expected and wanted from him.
I've been noticing this throughout the tournament as well. I kind of mentioned it in the pre-game. It's KNG who's been AWPing primarily throughout this tournament. He hasn't looked himself any. He's kind of looked a little bit out of his depth in terms of the shots he's hitting, and maybe the aggression we're used to seeing from him not happening. And KNG, he looks lights out. I'm not sure why he's just not taking the main AWP role. At this point, we're in the quarter-final and things are falling apart. I just think that, Henny, you're having a nightmare. Let me just do the main AWP at this stage. And you just have to make that call. It's a difficult one to make, but sometimes it has to be done. Round number 26, 14-11. Immortals though, they're winning the previous round. There's a huge chance it can get reset. Need to be very careful. It's another fast approach. This is what we wanted to see, man. To stay together, group up, get in those bomb sites.
Kiev is not quick enough. He does find one on Bolts. Back down toward E-Box, but that means he's pressured. And pressured from both sides. Good find from Tapson to get a lurk late inside a connector. Shuts down any threat coming in from Immortals. And as you mentioned, just a chance to break the money once more, and Big would be right back into it at 14-12, potentially get a 13th round on the back of it. So slow it down. The Twins again, this time 4 versus 2. So better than they won last time they worked together on the CT side. His timing's going to be perfect. They're spot in the open. Ball down, taps it, gets both. And Big.
Eco territory for Immortals. If they have a pause left, this would be the time to work out what's the play. To be forced by into this. We've got 4 players with less than $3,000. 2 of which are very low indeed, beneath 2,000 in fact. Tapson, lovely work there. It's a clean round for Big as they close the gap. Scoreline's 9-2. Immortals getting shut down. They're trying to mix things up. They're trying to go faster now. The simpler plays, as I said, we haven't really forced by him. Into round number 27. Things looking desperate now for the Immortals side. It's Tapson aggressive. He finds 2 kills as well.
Fine. Situation, or rather with the Antigua situation, Scompy gets himself in position. 1-point game after 12-3 on the most sloppy, I guess, T-side we've seen from Big throughout the course of the event. Tapson gets KG. It's only Henny remaining. Needs kills on this P250 just to get money again. Ooh, he only gets 1. Good tag, but 3 players there waiting for his arrival. We have 1 round between them.
Who would have thought? The CT sides. As I said, the money's still not going to be great. Could have been double eco. Balls down to Galil. He's got a did for. This will be some sort of set piece. We need to see like a wall of smoke. You can't really just rely from running into a bomb site with this sort of weaponry. We're going to have to deploy everything we've got, throw the kitchen sink at them, and see what's available. We're going to have to deploy everything we've got, throw the kitchen sink at them, and see what's available.
All the damage.
That was the force fight for Immortals as well. No, pistols. The Gears have the 28 frags, not known as the biggest fragger, arguably one of their weakest players. Final.
Invigorated. Just come under some criticism in this event for all sorts of things we all know about. But they've stepped up when it matters, and they actually are in a position to find map points against just pistols. Another nade potentially, this time from Molotov. Precise.
Yeah.
That's a nade though, and it will do damage again. Still see, I mean, the guns don't even have to do the work. You talk about M4s not being one-shot headshots. Well, okay, they are if you do 50 damage every time with a nade.
This must be the most. Sometimes. Oh, now the crowd are coming to life. They're believing. Here we go. Pistols, the final play towards the B bomb site. Immortals have to dig so deep this one. Lose this round. It's pretty much over. Still no money. Final flashbang. Here we go.
Through the smoke, it works. They don't spot next to the archway. They'll get him back. And on top of getting him, they actually do find Gabi immediately before. So it's a 2 versus 2, but he was caught in this event. And a fast split puts map point on the board for Big first.
Nothing to work with there for Immortals side, just pistols, armor, hoping someone can go absolutely wild with Desert Eagle, find an opening pick, just something, but they couldn't get those openings. This is a 12-3 half. They've fallen apart. It seemed like Immortals were controlling the pace of this game. They had everything going for them, that double AWP setup, the KNG performance, but this T side, just nothing has excited me at all in their play. They haven't really had the basics down. The map control hasn't really come in. They haven't had any clutch situations really. It's all just been whitewashes, getting and Galil's, Deagles, Tech 9s. This is all they've got to work with here. Next, nice work.
An all-important quarterfinal. On for Immortals and not a lot to
definitely not. Galil's Wolfpack mentality towards long. See if he can hold them off once again.
Comes to danger. Our first pick finally. For Immortals, not something they've had and been able to secure very often.
And they upgrade one of the pistols to an AK now, getting stronger and stronger. A real chance headed to overtime. Can't be though aggressive towards long. Not the greatest position. Can get flashed off there. It's a one and done technically, but he can get backed up by his teammates.
Boost for Tabson.
I like that boost though. This is exciting me. Tabson can cause some damage here, but they are focusing primarily towards long A. He's going to have to turn around and back up got B. Good smoke though, perfect smoke.
Slows them down, partially blinded. Consistency above it, that's the better question. Missed time from Godby, and we might have overtime on the cards. Tabson's forced off him into 5 versus 3, and he's got caught out by KNG. Planted. He has a kit, but no further utility. Johnny's got to get a lot closer.
No head out by 3 players, not really required. You're not being up against any SMGs or anything like that, but here we go. Faster play towards B. This could be a straight up rush. All 5 players towards the upper platform. Here we go.
They're in, they're going. Next attacks, they're not in position, they're not ready for it. They've got to get the first kill, shut them down. They've got to be early on the denial of entry. So far they trade, but trade's not yet enough. If it's chaotic, it allows for the bomb plant, and better than trades. And he's able to slip up and find Next, leaving Kiev again in another 1 versus 3, and off per
Racing under the top of that next round to have to save his orb.
Great call to change the pace.
Why
we
not?
didn't see that from them all.
You've got these star players, these raw aimers. Pound for pound, Immortals do outfrag big pretty much every single time. And why are you not just focusing on that? Say as a 5-man unit, get that rush going on. Instead of going to the depots and getting wrecked by HE grenades, this is get in there. Let's start hitting some shots. Let's let our star players have some movement. And it's Henny who gets 2 frags into the round, and B rush is all the call they need apparently. I like that a lot. First time they've done it, it works out for them. They go down 1-0 here. Nice way to kick off overtime. Great call. Just the first man, guys. What you're usually aiming for, the rule book, the strategy book, whatever you want to call it, goes out the window in overtime. You're trying to think back what worked there. How can we adapt what we've currently been doing? Why are we getting shut down across the board? And now, to stick together, I like it. Simple, but effective. Round number 2 now. Still with the orb, of course, after saving in the previous. Money, though, if you lose this round, you're left with pretty much nothing. You get UMPs and pistols. And that 2-0 comes, they need to be very careful. Manage the economy well. If you have to save, sometimes it's better just to do that and think about the future instead of trying to have the heroic plays.
Close proximity to the doorway. Legia wants them to walk in, and they do. Thank you very much. I'll take charity at any point in time. Lucas is at least able to trade it back by getting Godby to ward drop. Kiev double scoped, wants the first shot. Jump across, forget it, he'll flick. He will flick indeed. Oh, nearly gets it. Molotov will lock down the position, flash up over the wall. He wanted to re-peek it, but got blinded himself. Creative way of doing it. Bit optimistic in how much distance he has to travel. Watch that smoke. And watch the boost on the reverse side, because they've just put KNG up with the op. Kiev's got to be a lot more careful about how he chooses to repeat. Flank heading toward Legia. Smart reposition for the CT side of BP and Kiev, but Next off the stairs, traded out immediately. Kiev, as I mentioned, reposition though, has control, but not the speed for the second kill. And overwhelmed as Tabson behind the rock. Where is this coming from? Immortals finally getting space, but bombed it. Oh, missed shot. Legia had to hit that early and bring it to the one-on-one as soon as the bomb was planted. Now the element of surprise gone, but still he's able to push through. Bolts is not ready for it. Lucas comes back through toward window. Legia backs it off. He's got a smoke. He's got the kick. But if he goes immediately on top of it, Lucas is going to play aggressive so that he can't hold it. He might have gotten away with it, but there's no sense chancing it if he still has time. Molotov close side. This is going to be the hold because it's going to force him back. He's got to go wide around. He's protected. What a brilliant Molotov! What a brilliant Molotov to force out the time and position.
Very, very calm. The only place he can be is connector or the drop down room. He could be doing the full defuse that plant as well, just incendiary towards that area. He's done it, but like you said, even better perhaps. Covering himself with the smoke, little smile there perhaps. He knows he's enjoying himself. He's having one hell of a game. Probably the best performance I've seen from Legia in quite some time. Rush middle. It's up to Immortals now to dictate the pace.
It's happening. It's absolutely slaughtering them as KNG at least trades it this time, but it gives Legia again a chance. Smoke down. He's got to push through it because he's given up A, and whoa, he's being watched, but not anymore. Patience. Patience not anymore either because Goppy's got the kill, but he's still in a good position. KNG knows it. He's going to go hunting for him. Spots the head, but can't get the shot. A big whiff. Leaves them locked on twos. HP relatively even. Advantage to the bomb plant. Legia tagged through the door. Wasn't ready for bolts to appear. AWP for Kiev to win the first overtime half. He's spotted in the open. His steal goes high. Immortals get two. Big only get one.
Immortals. A massive issue. You get AGs thrown at you. It lands in the massive group of the players there, but still they recover. And the clutch not working out. A decent flank from Legia as well. And he stepped up tremendously for the big side, but wasn't quite enough. They switch over to the T side now, where they struggled as well. Remember, it's 12-3 in the first half. Do they have a similar mentality? They start grouping up and saying, let's stick as that 5-man unit. We're getting wrecked by the double orb setup, and that's what's coming out once again. Immortals, KNG especially. He was quiet in the second half. I'm really expecting some huge things now.
He's getting cheeky with the T side and all. Where he's had most of his success, to be fair. How does it always seem to go that when T-sides are the struggle in the regular 30 rounds, and you hit overtime, and suddenly they appear with a change in pace and urgency? Watch out for Godby to check corner. If tactics weren't a thing the first time they played on the T-half, they might need to be now slow pace again. KNG's watching down to bottom of middle. Henny on the other op is towards Chicken Coop, and they're still not deciding on the big side where they want to go. Very patient from Immortals.
Indeed.
Not flying into any of the slow play from Big, not going for information that could cost them.
One more round from that point. Don't want to give anything away here. Pushing that CT side, don't want that money to start dwindling away. It will be an A-sided attack. Thompson once again a drop down. His four teammates waited to execute, but they did run out of time. They weren't managing that correctly in regulation. It's going to be still to fight attack. That's a key frag. Here comes the final commitment there, but Legia hitting shots once again.
Good opener. They know Lucas is toward the barrels. The problem is to get far enough inside of the site to get him. They have to cover off the balcony. They've done that. And down they both go. Bomb plant follows immediately as Steele goes down to next. Very good entry, and it wasn't strategical, it wasn't tactical, it was just straight up. Entry kills and leaves Henny. 1 versus 3, it was 4. Chances of anything beyond that, pretty slim. Doesn't have a kid either, so backs away. 17-17.
Indeed. It's 18 required from that point, but Big do tie things up. Slow and steady as usual, but this time much better. I thought Immortals could pick that one up, considering one of the key scalps for Big went down first. Taps into that drop-down room. They go towards A, they stick together. Legia opening things up. He managed to get 2 frags in total. He's having one hell of a performance, I have to say. Keith with the AWP as well. You said it's a little bit cheeky in the T-side, but it works out for them that round. And then a pause comes in once again. This must be the final pause now, I think. Got a lot of them. Just a chance to calm down, work out what the play is. We didn't see the best T-side from either of these teams, so tactical time for Big, yes indeed, their last one. 4 out of 4. A chance for the coach to chime in, give his input. help out God B with this final call to get them to map point potentially. Double up setup. Not sure it's a possibility right. NG not open on the CT side of Cobblestone.
He's been much better, to be fair.
He's got 28 frags, Henny 13. Sure, he is the main AWPer, but you've got to ask yourself, like, if someone's not playing that well, maybe it's time you just took the rifle and gave him the responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Playing to the strengths. He's certainly been one KNG.
Like he's been anchoring the A side as well, meaning you have 4 players towards that B side of the map. I think that's cool for me, but who knows what's Henny up to this round. He's decent in the B bomb side generally. This hasn't really arrived. Apart from one very important round.
Spray through the smoke. Next will jump across. This is only map 1, let's not forget. Immortals allowed Inferno to come into the pool. SK were bested on by Big. Not so sure we can still say they're the little brother anymore, Immortals. I think they're emerging from the shadow at this point. In this event, they are legends, rightfully so. Oh, look at the nades again. This time it's against Big. They're the ones caught off by a really well-thrown double Molotov play. Tabson and Godby get trapped between it. They know they were going for that position every time in the first half. First time they played T-side. Next was snapped to his perspective, but it's Lagia instead that finds Bolts on the other side. Steal, he slips behind them, but will that go undetected or not? Tabson's ready for it. And Big, for their second time, might find the first map point of overtime, their second in the game, that is. Lucas is the last alive. Nade thinks about it. It would have been a kill. He'll continue to try and do what he can. Pretty much has to at this point in time. And through the edge of the door, they spot him. Godby's able to capitalize. 18-17 for Big.
Once again, it's McGee opening things up towards that B side. That's a huge weight off their shoulders, guaranteeing second overtime if required, and the money's going to be broken for Immortals. We described it in the build-up to this overtime. Go 2-0 down, and then left with pistols, and saved him 4 from what I can see. KNG had some more residual cash, so he's got the M4A4 out too. 3 smokes and flashbangs, 4 pistols, and a riot board. Ever there was a chance to close down for Big, this would be it. 1 round will do it. Immortals to dig deep once again. Can they find anything with the Desert Eagles and the CZs? Here we go, it's building up once more.
Keeve watches wide side of the smoke as they continue to approach. Lagia will be the leader. The hard charge. Tabson's gonna go solo this time down the road. They jump in, Bolts is ready, Bolts goes undetected, Bolts finds 2, almost the third on a 5-7, but Tabson makes his way in from the E-box from drop. And bomb down, they have the advantage. Lucas with the deagle only to work with no kits. KNG down, rifle gone. The comeback might in fact be complete from the German side, even if they needed extra rounds. From 12-3 down, Lucas will walk in, it's all up to him, and they're ready for it. They'll spot him out as he goes around the corner, everyone faces.
No
Lucky
way.
shot to find Tabson as he re-peeks back out. AWP has to back off from Keeve. If he finds the shot on Godby, don't rule him out.
Ooh.
He's got it as well. He's only got 12 HP, but he's lost track of where Keeve is. The shot, he's on it. Keeve, why is he not peeking? Goes for the knife. Oh my goodness. You talk about config, BM. Take that and stick it. He throws it back in Immortal's face. A risky play, but Big are magnificent in map 1.